Welcome back to Tradable System Builder tutorial series. In this video we'll be exploring the triggers section and how to use indicators to create specific conditions that determine when your system should trigger a buy or sell order. The trigger flow uses conditional formatting to determine how your indicators should interact with each other. There are two possible outcomes at the end of the conditional statement. Either the condition is true and your system will trigger an order, or it is false and your system will not take action. Let's start by taking a look at each scenario from the beginning. Note that there are two separate trigger areas here, the long and short. A long trade is the idea of buying an asset with the intention of selling it at a higher price, or in other words, making a profit when the market is going up. In contrast, a short trade is the idea of selling an asset with the intention of buying it at a lower price or making a profit when the market is going down. In this example, we'll only create the conditions for a long trigger. We'll create a condition by selecting the Add box here. Note that we can either add a singular condition or create a new group, which we'll explore in a moment. As there are no conditions, we'll need to create a new one. Please note that this system is for tutorial purposes only and is not intended to be profitable. The time frame is the period that an individual candlestick represents on the chart. As we are creating an intraday trading system, we'll go with the daily time frame. Here, we'll select the indicator and then the specific signal from the indicator that we'd like the system to use in the computation. Note that some indicators only have one signal, whilst others have several. Let's create a moving average cross so that when one moving average crosses the other, the system will trigger. When the moving average exponential is greater than the moving average line, we'd like the system to trigger immediately. As you can see, there are multiple options which we have not explored, so if you'd like more information, please visit our documentation, which will explain the options in detail. Note that the condition we've just created is located under the flow diagram. Selecting it will give you the option to edit, delete or reposition it once other conditions have been added. Once we've completed our first condition block, there are three possible actions to take. The trigger long option would end the entire statement and trigger an order so long as all of the conditions had been met. The then if option will allow for a new set of conditions that must follow the previous if block of conditions. The whilst then if option is slightly different, it must occur whilst the previous block of conditions are still true. You may specify if the new conditions have to occur after the previous conditions became true, or if the new conditions must become true within a certain amount of time. Let's tack on another condition, but this time, we'll create a group and select a group type. A group will contain several singular conditions which must pass the group's type for the entire condition to continue on. And stipulates that every condition within the group must be true. Or stipulates that only one condition within the group must be true. At least stipulates the minimum number of conditions within the group that must be true. Let's use the AND option for this example. As demonstrated, the condition group displays two conditional boxes, which is the minimum amount necessary to fulfill the AND group condition. Let's tie off the conditional statement by selecting the trigger long option. Displayed here is a standalone button with the name else if. By selecting it, we can create an entirely new condition that will run if the first trigger is false. This facilitates the creation of complex trading systems that can run several separate checks before determining that a position should or shouldn't be taken. The panel on the left allows us to zoom in and out of the flow, reset the flow position, view more information, and completely reset the chart. We understand that there is quite a bit to take in for this section. Feel free to rewatch this at any point by selecting the information icon and clicking the tutorial button here.